Buenos dias. So don't let anyone talk you out of your dream to travel abroad. Now, some people are just not going to want to travel abroad. Some people want to going to stay where they are in their home country. I get it. It's safe. It's familiar. It's what you've always known. Your family, your friends there, the things that ground you into who you are, as far as who you think you are, and your home and feeling safe. That's where you want to be. However, there are some of us who have moved abroad that almost did not come because some of us were almost talked out of coming to different countries, different perceptions, different views, propaganda about countries that are here on the planet for us to explore. There's a whole world for us to explore, and some of us have been stuck because we were either too fearful to move forward or we allowed someone to talk us out of our dreams. Now, I am here in the beautiful city of Merida, and that is in the Yucatan state. And I'm not going to do a lot of editing to this video. I know you hear a lot of background noise, but I really want you just to experience and hear a lot of the sights and the sounds around me. Now, Merida is, again, in the Yucatan. It borders the Gulf. It's about 20 minutes from the Gulf of Mexico. We are connected to several border towns or beach towns that borders Merida. So if you like sand and beach, it's beautiful, but it also gets very hot, particularly in the months of May, June, and July. That's considered their summer months, and it can reach temperatures of triple digits. And that was the one thing that almost deterred me from coming here. But I have to tell you, if I had listened to people and had not come here for myself, I would have missed out on such a beautiful experience. Now, I have to tell you that sometimes you're connected to a place energetically because you just feel like in your heart and your soul that this is where I'm supposed to be. And then some people are just passing through to figure it out, to see, hey, is there somewhere that I could live long term or short term? But for me, I'm feeling the energy here. As you know, I was recently in San Miguel de Allende. I spent many months there last year. I started off house sitting around the US, and then I started house sitting internationally. But when I wanted to start exploring my residency and being part of like Mexican culture, I wanted to have a soft landing, and San Miguel de Allende did that for me. Most of the videos that you've seen between July and November, they were from San Miguel de Allende. Beautiful place. I highly recommend visiting if you've never been. I don't know how to describe San Miguel de Allende. You can go to some of my other videos and see for yourself some of the beautiful and amazing art and architecture there. But for me, it was a soft landing. It was a way for me to just capture the beauty of Mexico in a place that I'd never been. It's not sand and beach. It's in a mountain high elevation. There are inclines. There are cobblestone streets all throughout the city. However, it's big enough for you to feel like you're in kind of a metropolis, sort of, but it's small enough where you feel like you're in a town and not a big city like Mexico City. Now, I decided that, you know what, I wanted to take a break for San Miguel de Allende because I was kind of feeling internally that there was something else for me. And I mentioned Merida to a few expats, and I was like, oh no, don't go there, or I could never go there because of the temperatures. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be hot. I don't want to be in humid weather. I don't want to like feel this heaviness of the humidity that I often felt in Chicago in my home. I said, I've been through that. You know, sometimes in the summer in Chicago, it gets really hot. And then I decided to take it off my kind of like my bucket list and decided not to come. Then I went to Orlando for a bit to connect with some of my family members. And then I ended up going to Chicago back home. And I started thinking, you know, why not? Why not check out Merida? Why would you allow someone else to influence your decisions about going to Merida? You hear that? Okay, so I decided to come. I got an Airbnb for 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, and I decided I just want to fill it out. I'll know within at least 2 weeks if it's somewhere that I'd like to explore more. And within a week, I got out, I explored the area, I connected with the locals. You know, I visited some of the shops, the restaurants, the markets. I got to know the people in the community, not just the Black expats, but some people in the other expat communities, and just people who are in the vicinity of where I am currently, which is Aleman, near Aleman Park. And it has been a beautiful, beautiful experience. I'm one of those people that when I hit a town that's unfamiliar to me, I hit the ground running. I want to be outside. I want to get to know where things are. I want to know where the local lavanderia, which is the laundromat, what a pananderia, which is the local bread stores. I want to know where the mercados are, where I can get fresh food, fresh meats, fresh produce. And I just want to explore because I want to feel like I am not only getting to know the city, but how well I can integrate and plant myself into the local community. And what I love about this particular community here is that everything is walkable, it's accessible, as I think it should be. You know, I think in the U.S., we don't have access to things that Mexican people have access to here. We have to get in our cars. We have to travel for miles and miles just to go to the local grocery store to get food what we consider fresh, you know, to go to the local bakeries. We're finding ourselves going miles and miles out of our way just to get some of the basic everyday needs. We're here in Mexico, and particularly here in Merida where I've been, everything is local. You can walk a block or two, or even if it's not that close, it is still within walking distance, and take your bags, load up on your groceries. And when I say load up, I don't mean for weeks and weeks, but you get what you need. Your bread stores are here. Your fish stores are here. Your meat stores are here. Your markets for your everyday goods, for your health, for your wellness. The local shoe shop, the zapatos, your shoe stores, your dentist, everything is like within walking distance in your area. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Your local community serving the local people, the people in the neighborhood or the colonias, and people being able to have access to everyday goods so that you're supporting the people within your vicinity and you're not taking your money out of your local community. That's the way it's supposed to be. Everything is accessible. Everything is available. Everything is fresh. Here, everything is made daily. The bread that you get is made daily. The meat that you have, more than likely, the meat has been butchered that day. So you're not getting something that has been slaughtered and packed and frozen and shipped and distributed and warehoused and then bought by your local grocery store and then sold to you. That's not fresh. You get fresh food here, and that's the difference. And to think, not only did I let someone talk me out of coming to Merida, but not having the benefit of exploring what access to goods and services that are available to the community every day. It's not some once a week thing or once a month thing. This is every single day where you allowing your body to breathe the fresh air. You're allowing yourself to get the vitamin D naturally every day, which our body needs. And you're allowing yourself to have access to things that are your right to have, fresh food that's accessible every day, and knowing what's in your food, knowing where your food comes from, the farmers, the local merchants, that they are providing you the very best because you deserve the very best. And here in Merida, because it's so spread out, you have the opportunity to see the different neighborhoods, to see what feels like home, to see where you fit in. And if I haven't properly introduced myself and this is your first time here, my name is Regina Dillard. I teach people how to embrace life, how to bring joy into their life through travel. So I'm sorry I put that right here because I normally put that at the intro, but when I'm passionate about something and I'm excited about something, I just dive right in. So just bear with me. So in Merida, I feel safe here. You see that police car right there? I'm not worried about him. He is doing his duty. He is serving his protection. He's probably writing someone a ticket. I did walk past them and I didn't feel any anxiety. But that's a mind shift because when I first got here, I did. I saw police. I got a little excited, a little anxious. because of the experiences that I've had, that family members of mine have had, that my son has had in the United States. But here I know that they're doing their duty. Now, unless someone files a false allegation or something against me, they'll never approach me. They usually speak, they're going about their business. They're not thinking about me unless you break the law. Unless you are in a traffic accident, there are violations. They are not seeking and looking at you, looking at your skin color, assuming that you are up to no good. And I feel safe. They are here. Your tax dollars here are going toward your community services, that you have access to public services just like your friendly neighborhood police officers, which are here to serve and protect. So as far as Merida, I love the way it is positioned on the map. It is an hour and 45-minute flight from Houston. So that's like a 3 hour and 45 or 4 hour and 40. Oh, let me do that again. So if I'm coming from Chicago to Houston, because I have to do connecting, that's 3 hours. And then an additional 1 hour and 45 minutes to Merida. So that's 4 hours and a 45-minute flight from Chicago to Merida. You can live affordably, comfortably here. I won't use the word cheap because that's not the language that we want to use. We don't want to feel like we're diminishing the culture when we use that language. Oh, I want to go to Mexico because I can live. It's real cheap. No, it's not about that. No, you want to create a life for you. You're here to go through, even if you have a challenge in your body, mentally, physically, energetically, and you want to take time or go on a sabbatical to heal yourself, to balance yourself, to give yourself a chance to reboot, this is the place where you can do it. You can decide where you want to live, how you want to live. There are things to do every single day of the week. Yesterday, two expats and I, we were out all day. We left in the morning and we didn't get back till maybe 12 o'clock midnight. We went to 3 events, and that's just in one day. We started off connecting in the morning, and then we went to Central midday, and then we ended up going into an event that started at 9 o'clock last night. It was sort of the theme of Cirque du Soleil, but it was called Circo Drago, and it was the most amazing display of talent of people who come from this area, who travel pretty much the South American countries and exhibit the most amazing talent that you can find. But I will say that people have come to Merida and have said, oh, you know what? There's nothing to do here. I'm going back home. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not feeling it here. If you're bored here, you're not living life. You're not doing something right. Because there is something to do. When you get connected to the community, you will find that there are things to do, not just one thing, many things to do every single day. We have an English library in Centro where you can take language classes. We have paint and sip classes. There are cultural events. There are social events. You can get your hair done. You can get all these estheticians, but things that beautify you as for your aesthetics, for your hair, your nails, your body. You can get hire personal service providers to come to your home to provide massage services. There are people that you can connect with at local coffee shops. You can go on walking groups. We have a walking group every Saturday morning at this park behind me, Alamán Park, where we walk from about 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's a leisurely walk, but we're connecting with each other because not only are we here to connect with ourselves, we're here to connect with other people. And that's the beauty of it. You can fly solo on some days when you don't want to be bothered. When I say don't want to be bothered, when you kind of want to do your own thing, kind of move about at your own pace. But then you have so many people who are willing to connect with you and say, hey, you want to meet up for coffee? Do you want to go to the gym? Do you want to go to a Pilates class? Do you want to go to a language class? Do you want to go to an art class? Do you want to go on a home tour? Do you want to look for an apartment? Do you want to connect with local realtors to show you what some of the homes and the condos, or if you want to become a permanent or a a temporary resident here. So there's so many ways to do things. And I want to end this with saying you don't have to be somewhere full time. You don't have to make somewhere your forever home. You can decide to come here, stay for 2, 3, 6 months, 12 months, decide if it's for you. And if it doesn't suit your taste, you can always go somewhere else. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be this or that. It can be both. And for people who may want to come here during the warm weather months, you can do that too. 6 on, 6 off. 6 in your home country, 6 months here, 3 months here, 9 somewhere else. You can create the life you've always wanted to create it the way you want to create it. And don't let anyone talk you out of exploring. Don't let anyone fill your head with, oh, Mexico is dangerous. Because once you create community before you get here in some of the, like the Facebook groups, you will know where to go. You will be guided by people who have lived here for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of where to go, which cities are safe, which one are expat friendly. And even if you don't want to go to a city where there are a lot of expats, you can find that farm town or that rural town or that town where you want to, maybe if you want to grow your own crops, there are places and spaces for you to thrive. Some people like the more LA, New York type vibe. Maybe you want, so that may mean Mexico City. You may want to go to a smaller city in high elevation. So that may be Mexico City or San Miguel de Allende. Some people don't want that high elevation, or they don't want to be in the mountains. They want to be sand and beach. Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, Puerto Plata, or here in Merida, or a number of places that you can explore. And I would say when you decide to go, become part of the online communities. Be part of those Facebook groups. You just go to the search bar and type in the city that you want to explore or the state in Mexico that you want to explore, and then find your tribe. Find the people who are already here, are already planted, and they can give you guidance. But I will say one thing: when you go into the group, if you have questions, don't start with just dumping your questions. Use the search bar that usually has a magnifying glass, and there's a field next to the magnifying glass. Put your question in, because I can guarantee you there's someone that has already asked that question. And so what you don't want to do is just kind of dump and pollute the comment or the posting section with questions that have already been asked. I can almost guarantee you, if you put in certain keywords in that search field within the group that you're interested in joining, I guarantee that someone probably has asked that question or a similar question, and it'll take you down a rabbit hole of people who have asked us questions from years ago to present day. So start with that feature once you join these groups, and that's a great place to start to create community. But you're going to see a lot of people in these groups who are going to share their opinion and their experience of what it felt like to be in that particular city. I'm not going to say be dismissive, because that's their experience, but you will never know until you have your own experience. I apologize for this camera bouncing around, but I don't have a tripod. I'm using my hand to hold it, and I'm going to wrap this up. But yes, make a list of what you want. Go ask your questions in the group to see if anyone has the answer to what you desire, and if they've had similar experience. And then you can make your own decision, but you'll never know until you come. Again, you don't have to stay. Come for an exploratory trip for a week. Connect with people who can maybe go with you, give you a tour, or you can sign up to take some relocation tours, some of these walking tours. I would say start with the library to see if there are tours for people who want to explore the areas. The library, like in the States, have some of the best resources that people tend to overlook. So start with the libraries. When you get here or before you get here, plan your trip. Go to ChatGPT, ask them to create an itinerary for you of things that you like to do. And then if you want to connect with expats, you can also do that as well. You can include that in your personal itinerary, but make it the way you want. Don't allow someone to come into your space or get into your head and talk you out of something that may be the best experience that you could ever have. Okay, That's it for today. I'm going to sign off. Have a wonderful day. And if you decide to come to Merida, look me up or join some of the expat groups and see if you can connect with some of us who are already here. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.